Well, go on, we're back. Apart from this time, I've got a hangover, so yeah, look forward to that. So let's actually get some headache tablets on the go. So where we got up to yesterday, if my memory works, which it doesn't, is hold up. Oh, it must be so annoying. So, yeah, we started doing a donut texture. So we get the basics down of both, and I'm going to refine it. Yeah, because we want to get it good. Also, I've had ideas. I think just doing a donut. So originally, I went into this being like, oh, I'm just going to do like a super realistic donut material, right? And then I was like, oh, that'll be good enough. But then, like, yesterday, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? It's boring as hell. So I'm going to do something more interesting than just a donut, which not only does it mean I have to get as good at making the material, which is a nice side effect, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, which probably exists, but I just can't think of it. About there. Oh, nuclear pink. Let's go more like that. What's going on there? Do these clean up? Do these clean up? It's a good question. This should probably also have some subsurface, right? Just a smidge. I don't know how the subsurface really works in Redshift. Because, yeah, the point was to learn Redshift, and I am gonna. How's that looking? That looks like Mug's Eiffel, good enough. I love the phrase a Mug's Eiffel. If you've never heard it before, it's fantastic. It comes from a guy in the UK, right, who's a businessman. Well, he's still a businessman now, right? But mostly in the 80s. It's a guy, and he's a complete dick, and his name is Alan Sugar, right? In a company called Amstrad. And Amstrad basically is like an electronics company that made really, it was just an importer, and he made really shitty electronics. And if you're American, the history of video games goes, video games were big because Ataris were popular, and then some shit happened, and then video games crashed. That never happened over here, right? In Europe, that just wasn't a thing. Video games never died over here. But what we had at the time, when you were playing Ataris, some people had Ataris, but most people had like computers. Well, not early computers, but like, you know, home computers, like Commodores and Spectrums and stuff like that. And for people who were poor, like me when I was a kid, you had Amstrad, who made like TVs and stereos, and they also made their own like 80s 8-bit computer thing, which is what we had growing up, right? It was like the shit version of a Commodore. But yeah, he coined the phrase a Mug's Eiffel because you make these like component systems. You know, like stereos are like a bunch of separate boxes stacked on top of each other, and they're mad expensive and like had loads of kick-ass lights all over them. And now we just have apps on our, everything's on a phone, which is just like fucking boring. But anyway, yeah, he'd make these component systems which would look mad expensive, but they're made out of basically like dog poo. They were like objectively shit, and but they'd look insane. So they're there to be on a shelf and look great until you've bought it and taken it home and realize it's bollocks, by which point you're not going to return it, and that's called a Mug's Eiffel. Basically, if you're a fucking idiot, you'll see it and go, that's good enough, that's great. And you realise later on, actually, it's not amazing. That's where the phrase a Mug's Eiffel comes from, and I fucking love it. Anyway, I'm going to go open my door. I don't know what context this is for you. It's warm. But it's warm in here. But I'm not explaining myself to you. Zero viewer. So, getting back to my point, I'm going to do some more interesting. Massive diversion. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do something more interesting than just a donut, but good. I mean, this is a donut, but kind of okay. I've not even done anything yet. Yeah, this needs a bit of subsurface. Hang on. We're going to do this bit. I'm going to think of something more interesting to do with this scene than just have a donut. So I want to maybe make it like a donut guy. The idea I had yesterday, right? Let's just do let's come back over here quickly. God damn, what's happened there? There you go. Yeah. So yeah, my idea was, right, let's just do a little, where is it? Where's your little pen guy? 5. Scribble guy. Right, so yeah, my idea was, right, let's get this guy over here, was like, doodle? Oh, what? Doodle. Paint. Huh? I'll do a doodle paint thing. What? Doodle. Okay. Oh. Okay, right. No, that's window. It's a there. Hey, right. Okay. I don't know. Hold up. Pictures. Screenshots. There we go. Hold up. Okay. So. No, that's the wrong image. This is the right image. Is that the right image? Hey, right. So, okay. Wait, is that on? There you go. That's the wrong image. What are we doing? Hang on. Guitar, I've got a hangover. Thing. Which I spelt wrong, and now it says thubbin, which is great. Yay, there we go. Is that... Right, yeah, so... Wait, I don't want to do that. Let's go right. Okay. What? Paint. There we go. Right, there we go. Nothing works there. Yeah, so the idea I had was, right, if we make this, right, donut guy. So I had a few ideas. I'm like, what if you've got like a donut guy and he's got a knife and fork, right? Whatever. And he's got a plate. And on his plate, he's got a little person. I don't know. Like a donut eating a man. I'm not sure. That was my idea. I'm not sure if I go. I want to put a face on this donut though. Also, I had a random idea. Like, I wanted to like give him eyes, but like I want to be cartoony. But I want to have human eyes. Don't know why. Still round, right? Maybe he's still round, but like with realistic eye materials on him. There's like he's got horns. I don't know. Something like that. That sounds fun. Yeah, I think we were supposed to be like. Yeah, I think the idea was to be learning Cinema 4D more. But what better way to learn Cinema 4D than to draw a donut man eating a human? Can you think of a better one? Because I sure as shit can't. Right, let's get rid of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first. I like the fact that, so if you use Octane, you don't get this in the viewport. It looks like poop. When you use Redshift, you get a realistic thingy. So make of that what you will. Right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. We don't need that for now. Right, so what we're going to do is our OG's back there, so that's fine. We can regenerate this guy. Our OG's there. He's off being safe. So what we can do now is we need to turn this into yeah, we need to do that, and then how do we do this? And here we do connect objects, I think. And I think that will create a joined guy. It has. Okay. And it's two separate bits of geometry. What we actually want to do is merge the geo together, I think. Because we want to sculpt straight into this and I don't have to worry about two layers. So let's give that a go. So we've got smooth, that's pre-merge, I think. I don't know. Yeah, and then we've got smooth and doing it. But now we've got these as a single object. There we go. Right, so. Okay, what we need to do is I'm going to very quickly go do one of these guys. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. They'll tell you I've got a hangover. Remesh. We'll give that a little while to figure its shit out. I love the fact that this is here, you know. It's opened up a very new way of working. Because I don't like modelling. If I can get away with it, I don't do it. Right? I'm one of those people. Let's have a look. Let's see what this looks like. That's looking... Hang on. That's looking like two objects still. I don't know is there a way to weld these together? But, I don't suppose it matters that much. As long as it's in the same... Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's use... So, yeah. Yeah, like, I don't love modelling, but I'm one of these people where, like, I don't really do the whole sort of, like, do booleans, and because I'm lazy. I like cutting corners, right? But, like, boolean modeling's dumb. I learned, like, box modelling and proper modelling. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm good enough to get the things that get done, right? But I avoid it, right? It just takes time, and screwing around with good, you know, good topology and stuff is cool if you're into that. But if I can not do it, I will. Right? If I can use procedural materials, I will. If I can not UV something, I will. Right? Because who's got time for that? If you don't need to do it. But yeah. But I'd still model things properly. So, or maybe sculpt, you know, whatever, and then retopologize. But having the remesh tool from what are we doing there, bro? The remesh tool from ZBrush directly in here means that actually I'm much happier to do stuff like booleans or whatever, and then remesh it afterwards. Because actually, you know what, the topology that comes out the other end is pretty good. Way more usable, way more often than I expect. It's pretty much the primo way of doing it, I think, for boolean style modeling. There's a thing in Modo called Mesh Fusion, which basically takes subdivision surface objects, and you can do Boolean modeling with those, right? And it gives you controls over the seams between them, so you can just like tighten up the seams. It's not a trick. It's not like making bad geometry. It's actually recalculating on the fly and rebuilding a sub-D mesh cage as you work. It's much smarter than just doing what basically this is doing, right? It was good. It was real good. The workflow sucked. It was very cumbersome to work with, and I kind of hated it. It was way too many steps to get it working, to make it worthwhile for a workflow that you still, you know, whatever. If you're going to do that, it's got to be fast, and it wasn't fast, so I was like, what's the point? Anyway, what are we doing? We're going to call this guy, his name's Bugless. It's like Douglas, but, you know, Bugless. So, sculpt. Got a brief flick of, I don't know. Right, so, we're going to do this. Okay, let's just do voxel size 10. Okay, so let's do it to 0.5. This is 10 centimeters to start with, right? So let's just voxelize that bad boy. That's then merge it together. Let's see if we've got, let's see how much detail we've got. One thing actually I don't love is, one thing I don't love, one thing I don't love in C4D is the fact you don't have matte caps, because I love matte caps. Especially for sculpting. Sculpting without matte caps is kind of shit. But, you know, what we're going to do. Right, so let's just turn on symmetry. Is that working? That's working. Cool. And then we're going to go into options, turn off materials. There we go. So that's the best we've got. They really need to get matte caps in here, I think. So what we're going to do, we're going to give Bugless a nice mouth. We're in the wrong tool. And I've only used these a little bit. Oh, God. I've only used these sculpting tools a little. They seem okay. They seem fine. I'm not going to win any like awards or anything, but, you know, good enough. Good enough. So, I'm not much of a sculptor either. But what am I good at? You know? Don't answer that. The internet's a very cynical, mean place at times. You know? I'm going to give him a little mouth. We'll get a little bit of space inside his mouth. No? There we go, bugless. Can we give him lips? Yeah, we'll give him a bit of a lip, bit of a raised thing around there. There we go. Okay. Needs to be a little bit deeper. Can't go all the way through there. We'll just do that for now. Well, most of the way through. Let's get as much room in here as we can. Let's just bring that down a little bit. There we go. Oh, I love it. Right, so wrong one, wrong button. Let's get back there actually. It's a bit much. Okay, do that. Bit of that. Bit of that. Nice. Nice. Should we just try and infer a little bit of like, yeah, especially with sculpting, because like you can see really, like again, the matte cap thing inside ZBrush, which again, I hate ZBrush, but I don't hate ZBrush because I think it's a bad sculpting tool. It's the best sculpting tool, but it's just using it. It's just such a pain in the dick. And it's not a case of getting used to it. It's like, no, it's just that shit. And there's no version of the ZBrush workflow that would not be improved by them just making the application less batshit. But it's way too late now. The cat's out of the bag. You can't ever un-batch it because, you know, it's such a popular tool. I was thinking actually on the actual YouTube front, like making videos, because I obviously make the odd. Every now and again I make a video. I'll give them like little smile lines. I don't think I do. I think just like, let's just stick with that for now. I'll do. How do I? I'll just start with regular geometry. Yeah, I was thinking in the YouTube channel, right? Like, eyes will go there. Would be, oh god. What key is that? So I was thinking, I can't remember the keyboard shortcut for that. Let's go. Yeah, on the YouTube channel front, I was thinking, there we go. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Wow, he's so gorgeous. Yeah, I was thinking, if you're into CG or whatever, or like, you know, software tools, there's a channel called Inspiration Tuts. And I think I've alluded to it before, maybe in a video or two, but the guy's kind of full of shit in the nicest possible way. He'll say stuff, but he's out there to make the quote-unquote content, right? Well, his eyes go down here. Let's just do a little, let's do a symmetry. Is that the right way to do symmetry? I don't even know, you know. Or is it like that way around? I think it should be the other way around, right? It's a generator. Radius. No. Symmetry. Thank you. What are we on? X. Huh?